This women's downhill, men's luge, and biathlon relay edition of the Olympic Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Let it slide. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of the Olympic Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Adam Pelletier, and we're ready to go. We're rocking, we're rolling, and we're just going to roll right into it on the women's downhill. Actually, we'll start with our earliest. We're going to do that next. We're going to start off this morning with the women's snowboard parallel giant slalom, which is in the medaling at 3 a.m. East Coast time. Folks, we've had some wins, we've had some losses, but we're doing well. Unfortunately, our speed skating play didn't work as our favorite. Got sick. I don't know what's going on at the Olympics here, but real unfortunate to see Martina Sablikova go down sick. We'll come back to her in the women's 5,000 speed skating. But that's that. That's in the past. We're on to more wins today as we're starting with the women's snowboard parallel giant slalom, and that is one hell of a name, but we get to see people go fast with boards on their feet, racing each other. Gotta love it. So Letica out of the Czech Republic, or Czechia, is just been an absolute wagon the past three Olympics. She beat Miki out of Japan in 2025 at the World Championships. Additionally, she has 3 gold medals in different disciplines over the past 3 Olympics. That's just insane. She's a massive favorite, and for a really good reason. She's minus 135 right now, with a high 61-cent price over on Kalshi as well. But we're going to be in on her. You know, Miki out of Japan, same thing. She's been strong at the World Championships. She's just came up from junior. She's young. She's 22, 23, I think. And she's won 2 events this World Cup season. So that's huge to see. You really like to see that for the young gun coming on early. Obviously, to beat the champ, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. So we'll see if she can make that happen. And then next, Lucia Dalmaso has had a strong 2025-26 season. She's had 2 dubs in that season. The Italians coming on strong here in the qualifying for the Olympics on their home turf, and that makes sense. You know, they got a lot of spots. We're just going to keep this simple over on Kalshi 10-unit allocations. We're allocating half of that to Letica on gold at 61 cents. We're locking in 20% on Miki for gold at 24 cents. And then 20% on Dalmaso to medal at 33 cents. A little bit of long odds there for the hot hand and the local talent, so gotta love that. And 10% on Miki to medal at 54 cents. Just trying to lock it down. Moving on up the mountain to the women's downhill. Gold medal run Sunday at 5:30. Lindsey Vonn still just those 5. You know, we went over this a couple of weeks ago, and we went over this earlier this week, and I'm not really changing my plays there. You know, Lindsey Vonn, I'm really nervous with that ACL. I really want to stay away from it. I'm all over Germany with Emma Eicher and Kira Weidel-Winkelmann. They're hot. They're both skiing very well. Weidel-Winkelmann is skiing fantastically right now in the early qualifying. So I love to see that. She's been spectacular on the third. She was spectacular on the third training run today. Coming in at second, only 2/10 of a second behind the leader. But she's been skiing very well. So all over her still. Over on Kalshi. And then obviously we're still on Frederica Brignon, and she's got nice odds still. So we're still on her 25% to medal at 12 cents. KWW gold, 25% on her, 25% on Eicher, and we'll sprinkle that Vaughn still. Moving over to DK, we're all over KWW and Eicher to medal, Brigone to medal, Brigone gold, and KWW gold. So lock those in. Those plays haven't changed much. Some of those odds might have moved over the past couple days, but we're not changing off of it. We're locked in on our plays. Men's luge if you were on this is just an update for you. Langenhahn in the lead, track records on both of his runs. He set his record and then he broke his record. You gotta love it. We're hodling on Langenhahn, and maybe you sprinkle a little bit of luck there. His German teammate add some over on Kalshi. You can get him to medal at 50 cents. I wasn't able to find odds anywhere in Luge. It feels like they're kind of just chalking it up that our boy Langenhahn has won. So if that's the case, cheers, ladies and gentlemen, for being in on Langenhahn. And you can still get Germany to win gold over on Kalshi at 57 cents. Now, we're back on the mountain here for men's snowboarding, the giant parallel slalom. Again, we got two Italians that have been running strong in the 2025-26 season with Bromellini and Fischnaller. Fischnaller has been, old. He's 40-something, running great out there, my guy. You don't expect a 40-year-old to be a snowboarder unless it's that weird old washed-up dude on over in the mountain, just hitting on people randomly on the mountain, making everybody just kind of uncomfortable. Fischnaller doesn't seem like that guy. He seems like a good hang. So really nice to see him doing well. Roland Fischnaller, absolutely doing great. And his teammate, Bornolino, also of Italy. So we're very interested in them. Additionally, Lee Sang-ho out of South Korea, he's run really well in a lot of events. He's often runs well in qualifying, but struggles when we get into the head-to-head. He lost by like 100th or 1,000th of a second in 2022, and that knocked him out because he was sitting in the first seed position, so he's doing very well. It seems like this could be a year where we see him get some redemption. There's no qualifying runs for these. These are just qualify and make it. So over on Kalshi, we're all over this 10-unit allocation. We're 40% of that is going on Italy to win gold. Just lock that in right now. And just because they got two guys running top odds, Fischnaller's plus 250, Bormolini is plus 4. Fischnaller's plus 250, Bormolini's plus 450. So you love that. We're sprinkling a little bit on both of them, 15% on each of them to win gold. Fischnaller's at 33 cents. Bormolini's at 25 cents. And then we're going to put a little 20% sprinkle on Sang-ho Lee to win gold at 14 cents, like that. And we're just going to put an additional 10% of the bankroll on Lee to medal at 6 cents. Somehow his medal is lower than his gold. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. So let's just sprinkle a little bit there on the end just to lock that up, lock in some profit. That feels like a lock. He's just, he won silver. Previously, he won silver in 2018 in Pyeongchang, and he was running well in 2022, and he's previously won bronze. He won bronze last year at the 2025 World Championships. So like that, get in on that. And then lastly, we're going to ski walk with guns and get to some biathlon Sunday at 8:05 a.m., all early coming at you here on the East Coast, even earlier for our West Coast friends. We got the biathlon mixed relay, the 4x6 kilometer. Two teams really at the top of this, and you could even tie in a third in Norway. But we're looking at Sweden was an absolute wagon in 24-25. They've really haven't done a ton in the 4x6 this year in 25-26. France has been an absolute wagon this year. So those guys are the front runners, and, rightfully so. Germany, though, has been consistently in playing into our Germans' most medals. I like that they consistently run well in these events. So right now, how we're doing this, we're attacking this. 35% of our bankroll is Germany to medal at 35 cents over on Kalshi. 15% on Sweden gold at 34 cents, and then 50% is France gold at 46 cents. France has just been absolutely dominant this year on the circuit in the World Cup, so I really don't want to bet against them on Kalshi. I kind of want to lock in that profit. But as we head over to DraftKings, Germany to medal is plus 250. And Sweden to win gold is plus 250. So I am all over both of those. Love both of those. And so we're just going to do a quick check in on our Winter Olympics medals. Obviously, we bet Germany for most medals, and right now they have none. So not loving that. But the sliding sports coming around, men's luge on Sunday. Women's luge is into its training runs, feeling a little better about that. Italy's currently running first at 3, Japan at 3, and Norway at 3. Everybody has 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. Sweden has a gold and a silver. Switzerland has a gold, and the United States is sitting at 0. Canada has a bronze. China has a bronze. Slovenia has a silver. We're only 3 events in, so still time. Or we're 5 events in, sorry. Still lots of time. Still plenty of time for Germany to start to make it up again. We're getting through the sliding here for them to win most golds, so we'll keep you updated on that. Folks, it's been a blast. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Olympic Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Thank you for listening, and let it slide.